It's coming to us. And
Dun-na,
here we go
dun-na.
again.
Dun it. Isn't it?
No.
No?
Dun,
Oh.
dun,
Dun-na.
dun, 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 dun,
There.
I'm actually teaching my kids how to. I'm teaching my kids all of the different music of John Williams.
You are not.
I am absolutely. They just watched Raiders this last week.
For them to play the instrumentals, or
They're humming them.
Okay.
It's my children.
Okay.
So good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to City Talk, round 2. We're still learning a lot of our technical things. Just remember, it's only June. It's June 15th. It's California Beyond the Blueprint Day.
Yes. Yes.
But apologize for the technical challenges. We just had
Speaking of City Talk, that's politics. I got my little Disneyland update about
fireworks are finally restarting.
mask wear. No,
I
I didn't read that part.
My buddy went last week and said the magic is lacking.
So, but the real question, did he go to Avengers Land?
I don't think so. I think he just went to Disneyland, but I'm not sure. But he said the magic's lacking because in order to have social distancing in lines, the lines are everywhere.
So it's just probably a maze of humans.
It's just amazing humans, yeah, until you get to the ride. But he got on Rise of Resistance, so I'm not happy. Are we live? Oh yeah, we're live. We're supposed to be talking about city issues. So
Hi guys.
hi.
So we're here with the mayor today.
You're here with Eric.
Welcoming him back on with this hat.
And we've intentionally, if you're not paying attention to it, we're intentionally bringing in other people from lots of different groups so that it, again, the Creighton was generous in sponsoring the development of this programming, but it's not about me and more about the city issues. And there's been so many things going on. We got a very packed council agenda tomorrow.
Yeah.
This is a perfect episode opportunity to talk about what's going on.
I think we're going to be circling back to the budget. We had Cherie on the other week, and so we're going to discuss some of that today.
Budget's a big part of the meeting, but truthfully, there's at least 4 significant things going on that I
Do
won't
I
really
dare
wanna-
say water?
We have to talk about water.
I mean, there's an elephant in the room. If I don't,
sure. Let's just go and shoot the elephant. The water issue is. Understand that it's a very much a legal process now. The important, most recent step is yesterday, the Indian Wells Valley Water District announced that they're going to go for a comprehensive water adjudication, or they'll be filing suit tomorrow for a comprehensive water adjudication. And what that means is,
as I say, for layman's terms.
in layman's terms, you had 2 existing lawsuits, which was Cyril's Valley Minerals and Mojave Pistachios versus the Indian Wells Valley Groundwater Authority.
Right.
Well, now you're going to have the water district requesting a comprehensive water rights. And that means every well across the entire basin, everyone is going to be drawn into the legal process. So if you're a smaller farm owner, this is what we were trying to avoid. I shouldn't even say we. I'm not one of them.
I was going to say, I don't even know if you're even there.
We is not me. Me is, I'm a representative for the city of Ridgecrest, and we give direction to our representative, which is Mr. Heyman, who sits on the GA board. But at the end of the day, a comprehensive water adjudication just means that this is going to be a more drawn out legal process.
So then going to court. Court battle is ahead.
Years of court battles are ahead.
Okay.
I'd love to tell the whole world and the public out there that a civil resolution can be found. I lack the confidence of that today. Now, have I gotten briefed by our legal counsel yet? No, that'll happen tomorrow, and I'll have a better sense of what's going on. But based on all the information that I have to this point, the decision to move forward with another lawsuit is only going to do more hard feelings. I wrote last night, and this is what I really want the community here. If I'm talking as mayor, is guys, nobody likes this. Nobody wants to hurt the Trona community. Nobody wants to undermine the plant. Nobody wants to undermine the ag. Other than I don't believe our community can continue to support the ag based on our water resources that we have. But at the end of the day, we're going to create a bunch of hard feelings, and we're gonna probably throw around plenty of nasty words. And at the end of the day, the beauty of this community is in its relationships. So please remember that whatever side somebody's on, whatever position they've taken, whatever their perspective is on it, there's not a right or wrong in this issue. It's simply now in the courts.
I think that holds true to earthquakes times,
Yeah,
standing together as we did then.
absolutely.
I mean, no one's happy about this from
But but
anyone's
something that
standpoint.
I mean, I go back to I went back to and I watched to see what I've said on things, and I'll say the same thing I said before. We live in a desert, okay, and water is a scarce commodity.
Right.
If you pump more out than you have to make corrective actions, and
Right.
I simply don't want to wait around for those corrective actions for years and years and years. And the state has put a mandate on us. So this, it rolls, old saying, what rolls downhill, crap rolls downhill. So it started at Sacramento and then it got into our basin, and now it's going to hit all of our, many of our individual well owners and things like that across this community. And I mean, it's difficult. And
For everybody.
it's difficult for everybody.
everyone.
Yeah. No, there's nobody who's going, oh yeah, I think there's no maliciousness or out to hurt or, I always like, loving the people making these cartoons, IWVGA and liars, they're not liars. These are all honorable, respectable elected officials that are trying to serve.
Oh,
their
it's like the little
communities.
comic cartoons
And
that have been popping up.
yeah, we're all, nobody out here is trying to lie to anybody or try to manipulate or intentionally hurt. This is a process that's been mandated by us, by the state, and we're trying to find the best possible solution. And this started in 2016. This is the 5th year we've been working on this. I've only had the joy of being in the middle of being accused for 6 months, but it's a fact. I know nobody wants to talk about it with a common sense approach. It says, water is an issue. And hey, I don't argue that Searles Valley Minerals has a right to sue for what their position is on water right. They have every right to. I also agree that the water district has every right to file suit, and their board has to make the decision based on.
It's kind of hearing both sides of the story first. You
Well,
have to hear them both, and then what is the old saying? There's your version, my version, and then there's the truth.
Yeah, and in this case, once I'll use a Star Wars one. Once you start down the dark path, forever shall dominate your destiny. Once we started down a legal path, forever shall dominate your destiny is until the courts have resolved this. That's where we're going to be for a while. And it's unfortunate. And that's what I would remind people is, especially I respect everyone in the Safe Searles campaign and their right to do anything they like to say. They have every right to it. But the fact is that there's nobody standing at the border of San Bernardino and Ridgecrest with a wrench in hand, just waiting for the opportunity to do damage or impact to anybody in that community. That's simply not the truth.
I don't think anyone would find joy in that.
No.
I would even take it a step further and dumb it down and put on a smaller scale. I don't think anyone from the water district has fun doing that.
Nobody
someone
from
who
the
hasn't
GA is out to
paid.
hurt anybody. Nobody from the water district. Nobody's out to hurt anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But what we've made it, what again, like I said, hurt feelings and nasty words. And, I might be taking a little bit of that from social media. I'll grant that that's probably happening, but I'm trying to make sure that I'm being upfront, being very transparent and honest with it. And the result is.
But that's respectable because a lot of people do take it from social media and run.
Yeah.
So
it is what it is, but there's the elephant.
There's the elephant.
The elephant will be in court for the next several years, and we will be pouring money into attorneys' hands for thy kingdom come for at least a little while, and that's unfortunate, but that may also be the only way we find a way forward here. I will.
I don't see anyone here reducing water usage.
No, and we're
significantly
and the water usage
anytime
pressure, as Mr. Santamon said, the water usage pressure that's going to get exerted on this community by the state is only going to get worse. It's not like they're going to wake up tomorrow and say, "Oh, it's okay."
It's
Not gonna happen, guys. This is, I good, bad, or indifferent. Hate me, love me, think I'm, but it's the truth, and I guess that's where I guess I'm taking pride in trying to be. Hey, everyone's got a right to their opinion. Everyone's got a right
Yep.
to their process, and if that's is the course that board feels is appropriate, then let them do their course. So be it.
So on to fun stuff like the
Yeah,
budget.
fun stuff. Oh yeah, budget. Well, let me just a couple things. First off, for those of you who don't know, we have our regular council meeting tomorrow.
Yes.
We have closed
And-
session at 5 p.m.
And then people are welcome to come join.
Yeah, absolutely. People are welcome. The chambers are open, but there's a lot in the agenda that I just want to hit the big points so you guys have a chance if you want to come out. So closed session is from 5 to 5:30, but at 5:30 we're going to open the meeting about 30 minutes earlier than normal. The 6 o'clock is our normal.
Okay.
And the reason is we have two important things in the front. We've got a bunch of proclamations in the very front of the meeting at 5:30, and one of those is recognizing our borough's swim team, who were their league champs, and 4 of them advanced to the CIF finals. And I want to make sure I've said that again. First, an incredible accomplishment by kids.
Yeah.
In a COVID year with no pool and all the challenges they faced, hats off and kudos to these
Amazing.
guys. 2, it's incredibly telling about what the resilience is of our community towards the pool. And I wanted that opportunity to let the community know, hey, the SPP grant is pending.
Okay.
Plan B is underway. We know what Plan B looks like. We just don't have the money to fill Plan B, but we've got a couple different avenues to consider and to look at. But right now, the pool remains. I keep saying, if there's 3 critical issues on my plate, that is one of those 3 critical to be solved.
It's not like anyone's ignoring the fact
No
that
one's ignoring
we
the fact,
need a pool in this
but I think
community.
everyone wants it to happen
Yeah.
much faster than is achievable. I mean, if there are any millionaires in the community that would like
Or in the community members' families.
yeah, or in the community members' families who would like to have a pool or a park named to them and is willing to write a check for the we're estimating between 6 and 8 million. We applied for 8 million. I think we can cut down a little bit, with some infrastructure to maybe 6.
Okay.
If you want to write a $6 million check to the city for the building of the pool and provide $200,000 to $300,000 a year in ongoing benefit to maintain it, my phone number is 760-977-7090. I'll take your call any time of day, because that's the problem is, I've heard from people, on ARP or on this or, every single dime that the community gets has a string attached to it. There's always something that has to be done with it. If it's general fund money, I was telling, somebody, going back to just statistics from the budget, we have a general fund of about $14 million. The same size community has up north or across the state averages between $30 and $35 million.
Oh, so we're
already working from a deficit.
Yeah.
And then Measure V is tied to cops and roads.
Okay.
And special use taxes like building permits or building taxes, those all are pre-committed to infrastructure, lighting districts,
So
curb
even
and
though
gutter.
money
So-
can be coming in, it can't just
I-
be
I
like,
just
it
can't-
goes here.
we can't willy-nilly it wherever we want to. And I mean, and when you combine that with the other 2 priorities, which is the staff survey problem, which is that, the staff has not had a adjustment to their staff salary schedule since 2012, which we know has to be solved.
Okay.
And the fire service problem, which, again, a reiteration to the public, thank you for providing us the input. We sent out a survey and we're trying to get an assessment of where public safety lies in terms of importance to the community, because we've got to make some decisions on fire service. Do we go to 1 station?
In regards to 77, I believe it is.
Well, in regards to, so next year our fire service contract comes up.
Okay.
I don't know which station specifically,
Okay.
but the fact of the matter is that if they want to assess us the cost of the 2 stations, it's enough of a bill to close our parks and rec department completely tomorrow.
Wow.
I mean, that it's
That's the truth.
between 1.4 and 1.6 million. I mean, and those are of course rough pre-negotiated numbers. I'm just saying the fact of the matter is that the community is going to have a decision whether,
Mhm.
do you feel public safety is still preserved with one station? I personally don't. That's my opinion, but that's not going to be for me to decide. That's
Mhm.
why the inputs that you guys give me really help.
So everybody, please.
No, you just constantly keep giving me information. That's the biggest thing is,
Well, and I know that there's some other Kern County fire things I've kept up on, and they're having a hard time retaining firefighters.
we're having a hard time retaining too. We're having a hard time
Yeah.
with our officers
Mhm.
and retention of public safety is going to be a problem. I actually believe that is a problem that we are generating societally. Um, Again, I honor and appreciate every single
Oh,
man and woman who works to protect my home, my family, my business. You will always have my respect. But that's not the way that we're sometimes communicating that to them
Right.
as a society. And the problem is that at a certain point you go, why fight for those who challenge? And I can't disagree with them,
Mhm.
especially when they put their lives or their health or their own personal safety at risk. So it's
I
tricky.
get it. Yeah.
It's tricky, but at the same time, bad apples. I've always said you throw one bad apple in the apple cart, you got a
Starts
cart
rotting.
of bad apples.
Yeah.
That's how it works. But the key is that I have a lot of optimism in our current year budget, and
Okay.
that's really what I wanted to share. I said, so Amanda and I work together, and so this afternoon was okay. Got to keep me from being too grumpy when I start going off on my tirades today.
And I'll be honest, I was grumpy too prior to last live stream.
Yeah. I mean, Alex came in and opened the session for me, but put her in tears, and now I get to back clean.
All
up.
I was excited for was like a chocolate candy bar, and then Alex comes in.
I'm proud of that guy.
Watch last episode. I highly recommend.
Watch the last DV live. We're proud of him.
Yes.
But I digress. The key here is on the budget side. So
Okay.
I mentioned,
And this is going into budget for.
our fiscal year runs July 1 to June 30.
Okay.
So we are entering 21-22 budget.
Okay.
And so we were able to rush a few things into the 2021 budget and kind of just going back the history of understanding how budgets form, right? So budgets are formed, discussions start in like March, April. What are the priorities? You get your departmental priorities, then you establish what are the things that can be done, can't be done. And then you put out a preliminary budget. And then at a certain point, you can do a revised budget if you needed to.
And Cherie went over all that on
Yeah.
her episode from a couple weeks back as well.
Right. So, COVID, when COVID hit, it was March 16th, and we were, still trying to figure out how that was going to hit. 15 days plus 365 plus 3 months to flatten the curve, and
we're finally here.
And we're finally here.
June 15th.
And so where we're at today is we're able to see what the impacts of COVID were on our receipts
Okay.
on TOT, on sales tax. And I mean, we have a couple areas where we definitely
TOT is the
transient occupancy
Thank you.
tax. And so we have some areas where we're down. I mean, transient occupancy,
that comes from like
hotels
hotels.
and those things. Well, that category is pretty significantly down, and we'll be using some of ARP to, I'm sure, backfill that.
Okay.
We have some higher expenses in, equipment, PPE, things that were needed, times, overtimes, different things of that nature. Running the things virtually, all those types of things. So there's some backfill there, but we were able to get a sense for how that budget looked. And our 2020 to 2021 financial statement's not bad. It really isn't.
Okay.
And that was where it was great, is we were able to, so we approved in the last 60 days, we approved 4 new vehicles for the PD.
Okay.
We approved some equipment for public works, and we got some things for parks and recs that need to be done. But these are all, we're not talking $1 million. We're talking, these are 60,000 here, 60,000 there, that were always budgeted for this year, but we had held
Hold a little bit tighter.
We had held it like this. sure. And then we went, okay.
Okay.
Well, what's cool is because we were able to say, okay, and we're able to get a good sense of where our receipts are. When we started the budget workshop here for the 21-22, I think the entire council, and I commend them. It was, like I said, I walked out of the budget workshop singing, and they said, you are crazy that you're singing at 10 o'clock at night over a budget. And I said, the reason why I'm singing is because I feel like we actually did good things for the community.
Like
within
it was
the
accomplished
resources.
And it was a positive.
Right. Within the resources of what we can. And you'd say, well, what did you do? Did you get a pool? No, because I don't have $6 million lying around. Did we get 7 additional vehicles for the PD? We did.
Yeah.
Did we include in there 3 electric vehicles because we're be done with our electric vehicle charging station at the maintenance yard and our access to those for our PACT volunteers and for prisoner transport? One of the things that we know we lost was the jail several years ago. Well, how do you improve your expense line? You stop burning fuel
and charge up, go back and forth.
Yep, go back and forth, and then you charge it back up. And so we have a prisoner transport vehicle now that's electric, or we will have, as well as 4 more vehicles for our officers who were on some vehicles that were, extraordinarily aged. So that's 11 new vehicles for our officers within a 6-month period.
Wow.
I'm proud of that. I go, that's good. Then I go look at IT. Something so simple. You say, IT, why is that important? Well, what we learned is in the earthquake, redundancies matter. And those redundancies are what keeps public safety up. That's what keeps police up. That's what keeps those safety and communications.
Lines of communication up.
So we got some of the extra money into the IT department for redundancies that I thought was important, and we were able to discuss as a group and agree upon.
Okay.
We have a portion out for contracting for social media for the first time.
Wow.
Now, anybody who wants to argue, we can all go back to 16 and we can go through what Justin was trying to do and all that. I'm not looking for a consultant. We are looking, it's going to be a consultant, but what we're trying to do is not change, like, we're going to try and revolutionize social media by doing, no. Post some happy thoughts about the city every now and then and let the community know what's going on sometimes. I mean, the community has a pretty good argument that says communication has not been great from the city. And I wouldn't disagree with them. But I think we can highlight the good as well as the challenges at the same time. And we don't do enough of that. This is a beautiful, beautiful community. I mean, everyone said, no, there's too much trash. Yes, there is too much trash. But I also look out on mountains out of my backyard.
Or there's potholes.
Or there's potholes. Yeah. You know what? Every community in the state of California, but I compare what our police force is, our safety, how my kids feel, what our school system is, and I'm proud of this community. Yeah. And I want to be able to shout that more often to people. And so we put social media money in there.
I think like the lack of communication and lack of spotlighting those things also play into that negative mindset.
Yeah, it does. It really does. And that's why, like I said, I've been taking shotgun blasts for the last, 3, so let's see how I decided to start my last 5 days. So anybody who happened to see my Facebook post on the parks, right? I decided to go out to a little pocket area that I found out the city owns. It is just basically dirt land. Yep. And I had another credit union colleague that sent me this idea about adopt-a-parks, which I'm going to bring forward to the council again, which is the idea of, can we find a private-public partnership to enhance our parks and recs? And that might be a perfect example that was thrown at me yesterday was, maybe it's not a new park, which, okay, great. I just wanted to get the dialogue going.
Yeah.
But maybe it's the shade structures over on the softball field. Or it's some playground equipment next to the splash pad in Freedom Park. Whatever it is.
But it's ideas that you're getting generated.
Whatever it is, if we can get $50,000 of improvement, okay, and the city is able to put $25,000 and a partner is willing to put $25,000 in order to just, have a sign there or some, advertising, I got news for you. Add it up.
Yeah, and that reduces
Because
strain on
it
the city.
reduces the strain on the city. It makes for a better quality of life. And at the end of the day, many cities are using sponsorships
Well,
as a means of balancing.
and
budget
the sponsors, employees, families, then they take pride in that.
Right, absolutely. And when we get to let's assume that all of our dreams come true and we get the pool, we're under construction with the pool. Well, I want a sponsor to come in and help me with maintenance every year and put in new lane dividers and
Okay.
and put money into
Yeah.
ensuring it every single year. Of course I do. And it's funny. So I put that out there, and that got me about 3 days bulletproof armor shooting. Good and bad, which is great. And
It got you feedback.
yeah, it got me feedback. I used the term at Dias. I said, I'm Johnny 5 and need input,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to make sure that the public hears, hey, I don't mind. Say whatever, that is one of the cool things about social media is it should not be a constrained form of free speech.
Right.
We can go through that on a political front for another
That's
hour.
a whole nother
That's a whole nother
episode.
conversation.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Steven Crowder. But that's not the point. The point is that what really is happening is I have to put out the idea to try and get the communication back because I don't think we've done enough of that.
Right.
And Councilman Blades has been great with partner of that. So throughout the park idea, and it probably isn't going to happen there because of the irrigation and costs and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I got some really great insight like, hey, did you think about this? Hey, what about
over
this?
here?
What about that? Hey, Ridgecrest Heights has literally no public amenities of any kind,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a developing community area.
Right.
What options are there down there? So, I mean, I always say that the dialogue is so important to get feedback.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been great. I really want to make sure public hears, hey, I don't mind.
And you see that there's a need. Like, okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously the pool was thrown in there too, but
Oh, God, yes. When's the pool? I promise you, everyone out there, if you're watching in Facebook land or anywhere else, is very important to me. I have 4 children who are not swimming. I promise you the pool is important to me. I just don't have $6 million. Once again, if you're out there and you have $6 million, you're willing to write me a check, 760-977-7090. I will arrange a ticker tape parade for you in this community for it. But
there we go.
the fact is it's a money challenge.
I mean, it's a true fact.
Yeah.
So
I'm not the Fed. I can't just print it out.
it's kind of a catch-22 talking about the elephant in the room and then talking about a pool.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's the other one is was we have no water and you're trying to put no. It's not the matter we don't have water. It's the matter that we have water that's the rights to are being disputed.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't even gotten to my best thing that was in the budget.
Okay.
I went off on a nice little tangent there.
Yeah, I know.
You gotta keep me on track because I'll you know me, I can rattle on for hours. But
Well, we also didn't do notes today or questions, or we're just kind
I
of.
wrote 4 words. I have 4 words down: budget, parks, pool, water.
This was just like my
Literally
little
all I've
paper
written
from
down.
earlier.
But the best part about the budget is public works. So
Okay.
understand that we made a commitment through Measure V to hold the money back for police and for roads.
Mm-hmm.
And COVID essentially shut down roads for the course of a year. I mean,
The stay-at-home orders,
yeah,
all of
stay-at-home
that.
orders, the availability. We still have some concerns about availability of materials and all those types of things. But here's the fact. If you had been paying attention in February, we released the paving plan. And I've referred it on my Facebook. I'll be happy to send it to anybody. Send me an email, ask for it, anything like that.
We can probably drop a link in the
I
comments.
could, yeah, absolutely. Well, the paving plan laid out the next 4 years that we intended to on streets.
Mhm.
So 22, or the remainder 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
Okay.
Well, when we were looking at the budget and our new public works director, Travis Reed, who's been doing an ace's job, working his butt off, and what they decided is, since we know that we have some ARP and we know that we have this fire issue, the one area we know that we can actually do something without potentially impacting the two is public works, because we have this money Our sales tax revenue was better than we expected through COVID. We
Oh,
didn't take the
okay.
hit that we thought. And we have Measure V funds that have been reserved for roads that haven't been spent yet. So we're going to go. I'm trying to find a different term because if I said what I was going to say, it would have been inappropriate for
I was like,
YouTube.
the train just derailed.
Blank to the wall.
Okay.
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 With roads next year.
Oh.
And so there's $3 million worth of roads improvements budgeted for.
So to say you're hitting the ground running.
We're not just hitting the ground. We're hitting the ground with an aggressive. We are purchasing additional equipment, another street sweeper. We've got ideas on how to coordinate the prep work.
It's funny you say that because I think in the last month, I've actually noticed the street sweeper more often.
We purchased the second one because we need. Well, one of the things that people would always say, well, you just run down and do the work. Well, no, if it's a grind and mill, that means that we're going to take the existing layer off
Mm-hmm.
to the substrate and rebuild the road.
Okay.
Okay. Well, there's certain streets like Wilson and some other ones that we know we have to do that. The road is just
It needs it.
it's just too far gone.
It's done.
And then we have other ones, which are the roads that are in, they're in condition, but they need a slurry cover or they need some maintenance. We're working on those.
Okay.
And the key is, so we advanced everything from the 23 and 24 schedule
Okay.
into the 21-22 schedule, which is huge. And that means we're going to try and do 3 years
Wow.
worth of street works in one. And you know what? I don't want to make the promise that says, hey, if we fail, then we failed. Because no, when you shoot high, and if you can, even if we do 2 of those years, that's a huge improvement for the community. And I think a lot of people don't understand that one of the reasons why we didn't do them sooner was because you had to address arterials first.
So real quick, is the paving plan already adjusted for the dates?
No, that's the paving plan for February. That's why I said it's for February.
Okay,
When we got into the budget discussion,
Okay.
this is what we discussed in the budget is, can we take these chunks of years of intention and move them over here? So,
Okay.
and you can look in there. So that means there's no promises. I'm not sitting here
It's not
saying
like you're saying it's set in stone.
this is set in stone, but we have a long list of roads and we've got a pretty aggressive plan. And that's great for this community. I mean, everyone who was worried about roads are saying that we're not tending to them. We are, but you got to do it in a systematic fashion. And so the arterials like Downs, that was a larger priority than, let's say, Felspar or something like that. Like
Downs
like
by the
arterial.
IWV field.
Yeah, by the IWV fields. Or arterials like Ward. Ward is getting ready to be torn up
Oh, wow.
significantly, all the way from us down to I think to Drummond, but past Norma for sure.
Okay,
Might be
yeah.
all the way down to Drummond.
Because the other day I was going through the dips there and they were already
They're
ripping something.
they're already getting ready to work on Ward. That's another big arterial.
Okay.
So we have to take care of arterials, which is where the main traffic flows. Then you get into the individual households, and so it's coming.
Okay.
But the fact is that if we have good weather and we hope the inflationary concerns don't bite us hard, we get some things done.
Right.
And that's the best thing I can say to a public is there's always a finite amount of opportunity and money to do things. Our goal is to try and do as much of it as we can. And I'm very proud of the city in terms of what they're trying to knock out. I think it's just
That's amazing, though.
Yeah, people's expectations sometimes are just beyond what are the reasonable timelines that can be achieved. But in this case, we're upping our game, not cowering back from it.
I think that's good, though, especially with the upcoming businesses that will be coming in.
Well, yeah, I would say there's just a whole nother argument that says you have a hotel in construction, which is that's a mass revenue source for this community, and I gotta throw it out there. Hey, everybody out there, because I'm gonna run long today, and Paul's gonna deal with it.
We started a little late.
Amanda's gonna deal with it. Everybody out there says we don't need another hotel. Let me explain the hotel rules. Hotels have security requirements, which are called interior doors. Many of our hotels that have been designed or built over earlier years are exterior door facing. The problem is for somebody who's coming for the DOD who has security clearance, they can't stay in an exterior facing door without it being a violation of security protocols. Which means that we needed more interior door hotel rooms that have a secured lobby and secured locked doors. I understand that might sound tricky, but it's not. It's basic, and that's why when we got per diem, this is the direct result of getting per diem increased and what our community needs. And that'll be another beautiful addition. Spring Hill and why can't I forget Hampton. I always want to say Hilton, and then I stop. But the two of them, why are they so full so consistently? Is because the community was clamoring for nice hotels that met the requirements, that provided breakfast in the morning, that did this and this, and and so there's still a demand there. Then add to that, not one, not two, not even three, but rather 4 new restaurant food developments underway or imminently underway. Because Dutch Brother, by clearing last week, they're talking being done by December.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
I mean, they're not talking like we're going to break ground in 6 months. They're saying we're going to be pushing cars through by the time it's hot.
Like
cocoa
I'll be
season.
able to get my iced coffee
by
for Christmas.
hot cocoa season. It's here. And Panda,
we won't talk about that. Amanda has a coffee problem.
I mean, Panda Express broke ground, late May at best?
I think a little bit before
and they're
that.
already at structural.
Because every day that I pass by there, I'm like, wow. Like you see a significant
and they're
change.
they're not waiting around because there's going to be a demand for these food locations. And what everyone says, well, that's going to hurt local restaurants. No, it's not going to hurt local restaurants. Diversity doesn't typically hurt, but what it does do is it really pushes that tourism aspect of our community. When people come into town and they're looking at food options or coffee options or whatever other options, look at where they're being built. They're being built where the traffic matches the opportunity. Yeah. And every single one of these businesses that is making this investment, they're investing at least $1 million to $1 million plus in terms of construction, brick and mortar build, permitting, reinvesting. Right. This is good for our community.
Well, and it's kind of nice to be at least going to the coffee shop aspect because that's my thing. I love my coffee shops on this side of town because obviously I spend, 8 plus hours a day here. But also in the other sense, like living and my son going to school on the other side of town and trying to working their way over there, like it's kind of nice.
And that's the whole point. These are not things that we go negative. These are positives. No. And that's what's there's a lot of exciting, cool things
and
going
there's so many towns, like it's not unheard of to have like 4 Starbucks in one town.
And we'll have 1, 2, 3, we'll have at least 3 and the Dutch. I mean, 4 coffee locations, not including our locals and Beansters and Pony Espresso. That's 6. And you say, well, this town can't support 6.
Have you guys seen the
Very
lines
clearly,
at all of our coffee places?
Someone believes it does. And if someone believes it does and is investing in this community, then I want to shake their hand, tell them thank you.
Yeah. I think it'll reduce wait times. It'll reduce, all of that. I've heard so many people say, I waited 20 minutes. Well, you waited.
And that was a choice. And that's a product choice. That's what's great is if there's a demand point, then there's opportunity there.
I think it's great to see the town grow.
Yeah, it is great to see it grow. And there's so many other little things that, I get a laundry list of issues or complaints or this or that. Just remember that, we're doing the best we can. My favorite one, just for the record. And here's another shout out opportunity for somebody on comments or to my phone number. I get that the medians north of Ridgecrest Boulevard need to be weeded. Okay, get it. Here's the problem. We don't manage them. They are Caltrans. The highway for Highway 178 runs from down in York Road, down China Lake Boulevard, and turns down Ridgecrest Boulevard and heads out to Trona. That means that in order to get out there to put crews to weed it, I need Caltrans. So if anybody wants to anybody out there, since I got my great 11 p.m. Star Wars t-shirt moment, if somebody
You're
wants
a real
to
person.
I'm a real person. If somebody wants to work on setting up a date with me with some what are they called? The U-shaped hose, the rakes.
Hula hose.
Are they called hula hose? If somebody wants to make an
Sure.
arrangement with me to have 2 or 3 hose.
I could be wrong.
And you want me to be the guy that stands in the middle of the street at 1:00 in the morning telling traffic to stop so we can weed some medians without anybody seeing us. You let me know. I'll take the heat, but we'll get it done. But the fact is that I
really
have
need to finish watching last episode, and Alex will probably be up with you at 2 a.m.
You gotta solve the problem, I'm not gonna solve it without Caltrans. So we're working on it, guys. Trust me. I don't like it any better than you are. I want to stop and jump out of my car and pull weeds out, but my car died because somebody stole my catalytic converter. So
I was like, "Do you have a car?"
You're scrapping my car.
No.
Anybody who knows my old Honda, they're gonna kill my Honda.
If you ever followed a gray Honda Element with a sticker that says "Follow me, vote for Chip Holloway,"
circa 2006. Yeah.
Here you go. It will be gone. You will not see it anymore.
Yeah. Taking the license plate though. So
we should get the bumper off of it and like mount it in the office.
I'm keeping my license plate. I'll figure out the next vehicle for the license plate, but it is what it is. But this is the biggest issue. The biggest thing is first, I got the joy of spending 40 minutes here just railing on everything going on. So
yeah, and it sounds like big plans for tomorrow night and the next year.
Yeah, and you just remember, nothing's going to fix itself overnight.
Like I said, budget's fun. Budget was the fun stuff.
If I can walk out of a room knowing that I was able to get 70 vehicles for our police department and the IT and the roads, I got every reason to hold my head high and to feel proud that I'm doing service to this community. And that's where I can walk out of there singing and know that, hey, I'm never going to satisfy everybody. But that's life. But I'm not out to satisfy everybody. I'm out to try and improve the quality of life and quality of this community. And that's my first goal.
Well, sounds like a good head start.
It has been. It's been fun. Everyone says, are you so tired? Yes, I am tired. And I don't want to read as much as I have to, or litigation paperwork or any of this. But thank you again still to the voters, and I'm having a blast.
Well, thank you so much. And next time we'll be up here. We'll be in July after the fireworks show that's coming back.
Of course, the fireworks. So 2 quick shout outs. Thank you to the is it Fraternal Order of the Elks? I know it's BPOE. I can't remember what the B stands for. Right off the top of my head, who invited me out to their Flag Day ceremony. Had a blast. My kids showed up waving flags, which was cool. And then equal shout out to the Historical Society of the Upper Mojave Desert. And I got it right, Tex. Make note. Who gave me a chance to come out and speak at the dedication of the historical district. And that was the first time that the kids were at something where I was speaking, and Gracie came and sat on my lap while they were talking about it, and that was really sweet. That was the first time I had my kids directly sitting there while I was speaking, which was cool. So they had a blast being locked in the jail.
That's a moment.
That was so a huge shout out to those 2 incredible groups for our community, and then July 3rd is the fireworks program.
Yes, at the Desert Empire Fairgrounds.
We'll be out there. I will be out there probably with my Desert Valleys hat on, not with my mayor hat that day.
I will be out there as Desert Valleys as well.
And I will definitely be out there as daddy, and probably son, because I think my mom's going to be here. But I'll be happy to always answer your questions, email or text, phone. I'm not that hard to find, but if you come in on a weekday, you might find that I'm tied up because I still have a job to do. But,
you'll probably see my face first.
Please feel free to share your comments and let me know what we're doing right, wrong. And there's some cool things coming up.
Yeah. So we hope to see you guys all out there.
The fireworks are going to be great. The full calls are going to be out there. They're doing a bunch with the
again, donations. If you want to stop by Desert Valleys, get your name on a star.
And bingo is this weekend at the Elks as well. So I think they were down to like 15 tickets or something. But
help support this community event.
Support them, and it makes a big difference.
Shout out to the Lions Club for organizing.
Lions Club and Ridgecrest, shout outs both there. The Lions have done it for years, and I know that they're getting tired, but they've worked tirelessly.
So again, Saturday, July 3rd, guys.
Absolutely, and we won't be live before then, will we?
Nope.
Because that would be the 5th, would be our next one, wouldn't it? Yeah. So we'll have to tell you how it went, or
6th.
We'll see you there.
Yeah. Just come by and see us. Maybe we'll snap a picture and then do like a little montage or something.
The big red truck will be out there.
You can't miss us.
You cannot miss us.
Thanks again, guys.
Thanks again. Have a great day, and it's another beautiful day in Ridgecrest. Take care, everyone.
I was wondering when that line was.